All right, y'all. Thanks for being here today. So practice today is gentle flow meditation. Since we missed last week, we are going to pick that back up. So we'll do some things here in the middle of the room, and then we'll move to the wall and finish up there. So you can start on your back, lay all the way back. And we'll take a little bit of time here to settle in. And then you have a tennis ball close to you, hopefully, and then we're going to start with that shortly after, but let's just take some time here to settle in. I actually picked a theme for our class today. It's a Sanskrit word from yoga philosophy. It's santosha. So let me tell you a little bit about our theme for today. So for many of us, looking at the ways we are imperfect and how we can be better or stronger is far more natural than just looking at the ways we are already pretty great. So critical eye serves us well in some environments, but it's exhausting and counterproductive to spend so much time on relentless improvement. Santosha reminds us to look at ourselves and find peace and acceptance. So santosha in our yoga practice is about accepting our perceived limitations and just celebrating them. So wherever you are on your mat is exactly where you need to be. And again, just celebrating what your body can do. Sometimes we focus so much on what we can't do. So right now, here on your back, do a body scan and notice what feels tight, tired, sore. And then also taking an inventory of those spaces that feel really good right now. Notice where your body is at ease, content, and comfortable. Bring your attention to your breath. Letting the breath move easy in and out. As your breath moves in, what do you notice about your breath? Maybe you notice the cool air as the breath flows in. Maybe you notice the breath against the throat, belly expanding. What do you notice about the breath flowing in? And the same thing about the breath flowing out. What do you notice? We'll stay here a few more rounds of breath. All right, bring some easy movement back to your body. And when you're ready, that tennis ball will focus on the right side of the body. So anything that you'd like to focus on, any area you'd like to focus on with that tennis ball, starting on that right side, you are on your own. So it could be under the shoulder blade, next to the shoulder blade. It could be under the hip. It could be under the right foot. So you have 2 minutes here you find spots that are particularly tense, make sure you're using your breath and that you don't allow for more tension in your body as a result of trying to release tension from a space. We have a little less than 1 minute left, so there is still time. Again, we're focused on the right side of the body. All right, let's start to move over to that left side. Just take your time. And again, you'll have about 2 minutes here to focus in on any area along the left side of the body. About 1 minute left. Again, using your breath, especially if you find those really, really intense spots. All right, removing the ball from underneath you. And when you're ready, hugging your knees into your chest. Together, actually, let's do a little bit on our own. So if you'd like to do a little rock from side to side, feel free to do that. And then together, let's place our hands on our knees and we'll stir the pot. So we'll bring the knees in together and out together at the same time. So knees come in and go out at the same time, drawing circles in opposite directions. Now the next time the knees come center, we're switching directions. Perfect. All right, the next time the knees come in, let's slowly extend the legs long. Do a nice long arm stretch. So reaching your arms up overhead, reaching the legs long. And then cradling, either keeping your arms long or cradling your elbows above your head, just letting your arms rest to the ground. We are going to crawl the arms and the legs to the left side. Now, it's not going to be a big movement. In fact, the right side of the body, back side of the body still stays connected to the mat. So think of making yourself into a banana shape or a parenthesis shape, stretching through the right side of the body. An option is to cross your right ankle over your left. Pause here, breathe through the right side of your body. We'll do the same thing, walking the arms and the legs to the right. Maybe crossing the left ankle over the right. Beautiful. Come back to center. Once again, here hugging the knees into the chest. This time we'll rock and roll up to seated. All right, so let's stay in a seated position for a bit. If you need some support, feel free to place that block or bolster underneath you. We are going to move a little bit through the neck. So once you find this seated position, let's drop the right ear to the right shoulder. And then if you'd like, you can take that your right hand, bring it to the side of the head, and think here of drawing the head up, so lifting up. And then your left arm, maybe you extend it out, really energizing that arm, and you can feel that nice long stretch. Another option would be to bring the arm behind the back. The idea here is to find some length through that left side of the neck. Good. Now you can guide your head of your hands to the side of the head. You could actually move your hand a little further back and tilt your chin toward the shoulder. Again, here, don't think about pulling as much as lifting and lengthening. Good. And then let's slowly bring the head to center. Let's switch the position of the legs. Your opposite leg will be in front. And then we'll start with that same thing, other side. So first dropping the ear to the shoulder, maybe bringing the hand to the side of the head. Think of lifting, lengthening, and maybe then extending that right arm out to the side or bringing the right arm behind your back. Let's pause for a breath. Good. And then you're welcome to add a little bit of an angle, tilting the chin toward the shoulder, maybe bringing your hand a little further back on the head, maybe still adding a little bit of assist in this stretch. Be gentle. Good. And then bring the head to center. All right, let's move to all fours. Hands landing underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Inhaling, finding cow pose, tailbone up, chin up. Exhaling to find cat round. Again, inhaling, finding cow. And exhaling, cat. Flow with me one more time here. Inhaling, cow pose. And exhaling, cat. Return to a flat back. Let's turn the fingertips to face the knees. Now, if it's too much to angle them straight back, so you're rotating your palms or your fingertips to face back, or maybe just slightly out to the side. And then from here, it's just little circles with your body. So you're moving forward, side, back, side, easy movement. Switch directions. Good, and then come back to center. Turn your fingertips to face the front of your mat again. Your left hand will stay. The palm of that right hand is going to face up, so you're turning the back side of your hand down. And again here, maybe just doing a little bit of movement, noticing how that feels. A little movement may help you find a spot that really needs a little extra attention. And then let's shift to the other side. So hand to the mat, left hand, top of the hand down. All right, and then let's bring both hands back to the mat. Drop your hips back to your heels to find extended child's pose. And just for a couple of breaths here, let's actually bring elbows to the ground and just roll through those wrists. And feel free to flex and extend through the wrists, do a little side to side motion, anything here. And then when you feel like that's pretty good, then extend those arms out again. And let's rest and relax and extended child's pose for a couple of breaths. All right, meet me again in an all fours position. This time in your all fours position, bring the right fingertips to the back of the head. We're rotating out to the right side. And then as you come center, you're actually going to even dip that elbow toward that left arm. We have that one more time where we're rotating all the way out and then dipping that elbow toward the left. Now this time we'll rotate out to the right, extend that right arm long, and we'll thread the needle. So your right arm will go underneath your left arm, the side of the head and the back of the shoulder connecting with the floor. And this is where a block may be helpful to you. So feel free to add a block underneath your head if you feel like that would be helpful. Just be gentle here, be careful. You want no pinching in the neck. So if you find that that is the case, then feel free to actually change this up by sending the hips back. You'll be more in an extended child's pose and a little less intense version. Yep, beautiful, you guys. You can crawl those left fingertips forward a little bit more if that feels okay, stretching through that left shoulder. Hold here one more full breath. And then slide that left hand back in place so that you can push yourself up. Right arm sends it up to the ceiling. Set that right hand back to the mat. Find any movement that is needed to kind of reset, and we'll prepare for the opposite side. So when you're ready, your left fingertips connect with the back of the head. You'll open up to that left side on your inhale. And as you exhale, the left elbow will dip toward that right side. Yes, beautiful. Two more, or one more. Full one like that. Inhale, come center, or come out to the side, and then drop that left elbow toward that right arm. This time, as you rotate out, send your left arm up into the air. And then as you exhale, you'll thread the needle, the left arm under the right. So the side of the head and the back of the shoulder to the mat, or using your block for support if that's more helpful. Just be gentle here on the neck. That block may kind of give you an awkward angle for the neck, so be gentle, be really mindful of how everything feels. Now, if all feels good, you can crawl those right fingertips forward or find any other position for that right arm that might feel good. All right, slide that right hand back in place so that you can push yourself up and inhale the left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale the left hand back to the mat. Curl your toes under, walk your hands and your feet together. Let's find a standing forward bend. We are holding for a few breaths in this standing forward bend. If you're in a seated position some during the day or a lot, those hamstrings can become really tight. This is your opportunity to loosen up. Any variation of this pose, feel free to find it. That might be varying the arms. That might be adding a little movement, a little sway from side to side. Notice if you're trying to hold your upper body in any particular position, try and let it go and let your upper body be completely passive. All right, let your arms hang loose if they're not there already, and let's begin to move to a standing position in any way that feels right for your body. Come all the way to stand, And once you arrive all the way up, move to the front end of the mat and have your blocks. You can frame the front of your mat with your blocks. All right, so let's open up a little through the hips. We'll do a little more against the wall in a bit. So right here, we're going to hook those fingers. We did this a few weeks ago. Gosh, it feels like forever ago. All right, we'll hook those thumbs together. On your inhale, sweep your arms up. As your arms come up, try to pull your arms apart. Just do a little bit of engagement through those shoulders. And then release your thumbs and let your arms open up. As you extend your arms up, reconnect your thumbs and let's flow all the way forward. Good. Inhale, half lift. So opening up or lengthening up, and feel free to send those arms back and rotate open through the shoulders. Dive yourself forward. Inhale. Let's actually reverse that swan dive to come all the way up. So send the arms up. On your exhale, find your back bend again. Let's do a little more with the spine here. Inhale, lengthen up. You can clasp your hands together. You could hook that left wrist, with that right hand. We're coming over to the right side. Good grief. So you think I know my sides, but okay. So right here, as you flow over to this right side, feel free if you'd like to add a little variation. If you're finding you would like to drop the shoulder in, you might feel a little something extra there. If you really rotate back, maybe you feel something different that your body needs. And then we'll slowly flow back up, and let's send those arms down for a second. One more time here to the other side. Inhale, lengthen up. And then we'll move over to this left side. Again, you can vary the arms in a way that feels good for that right side of your body. Try to keep your weight evenly distributed through your feet. Good. Bring your arms up and actually bring the arms down. We're going to add on to this. Inhale, lengthen up. This time we're going to twist to the right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale to come center and exhale to twist to your left. Good. All right, let's add on to this. Inhale to bring the arms up. As you exhale and twist to the right, maybe you can up onto those right toes. Maybe you lift your right knee up. And then return to center, both feet planted to the mat. Exhale, twist. Maybe again, you just come up onto those toes. Maybe you lift the left knee up. Good. Now this time we'll send the arms back. We'll open up through the front body, lengthen, and dive fully forward. Good. Your left foot is going to stay. Your right foot steps back for a lunge. All right. And then let's actually drop that back knee down. You can keep the back toes curled under if you'd like. 90-degree shapes. Let's slowly bring ourselves all the way up. Maybe hands to your thigh. Maybe arms all the way up. Maybe goalpost arms. If you'd like to place the fist to the lower part of the back, feel free to do that. All those changes where you're opening up, just notice if here you've kind of let things go in the front side. So try and engage through the abdominals still to keep a little connection there. But feel free to really open up if that feels good. So many times, especially if we are seated, we are forward. So this is an opportunity to open. Good. Now, you'll place your hands down around your left foot, curl the right toes under, and we'll do a little quarter pivot to face the long edge of the mat. All right, so this is where you're going to be on your own, where you can either move from side to side, or you can pause center in a wide leg standing forward bend, and know that you'll have an opportunity to do the same thing very shortly again. So anything here you'd like to try, feel free to go for it, and know you'll have another opportunity soon. Good. Now let's all meet with the left knee bent and do the quarter pivot to face the long edge or the short edge of the mat again. That right hand to the floor or to the block, your left arm stretches up for a twist. Good. Bring your left hand down. Step your right foot in to join your left standing forward bend. All right. Inhale, reverse swan dive, sweep all the way up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, lengthen up. Crescent moon over to this right side. You have that option to grab the wrist again if you'd like, or you can keep your arms long. Come back to center and let's switch to that other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist without lifting that right knee up to start. Come back to center on your inhale, twisting to your left. Now this next time around, you have that option to add balance. Inhale to come center. Exhale to twist to your right. Maybe those come up onto those right toes. Maybe that right knee comes up. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhaling, twist to your left. Oh, nice, y'all. Come back to center. Exhale to open up one more time. Inhale, lengthen, and dive fully forward. Good. Your right foot is going to stay. Your left foot steps back for a lunge. Let's drop the back knee to the floor. Again, let's find these 90-degree shapes. You can feel free to walk yourself up here and then find any variation of this lunge that you'd like to practice. So nice, good. Perfect. Hands down around your right foot. Do a quarter pivot to face the long edge of your mat. You are once again on your own here. So if you'd like to find movement, feel free to do that. Another option again is that wide leg standing forward bend. So just pausing center. We'll hold here a couple more breaths. Good. Let's all meet with the right knee bent so that we can pivot around to face the front of the room again. Your left hand will either stay to the floor or to the block. You'll inhale your right arm up for a twist. Perfect, hands come down. All right, here's a change from the last time. We're dropping the left knee to the mat. You can remove your blocks. That right knee will come back to join the left. You'll be in a modified plank pose or plank pose, your choice. Let's lower all the way down to the mat. Slide your forearms forward, elbows under the shoulders, hands to the floor, palms to the floor. You are drawing your forearms back as you draw your chest forward, Sphinx pose. Good, now we're gonna pause here for a couple of more breaths. If you'd like to add a little bit more, completely optional, is to press through the palms and bring yourself up a little higher. Again, completely optional here. Whatever you choose to do, really think about staying long through the spine, especially those lower vertebrae, they're not compressing, so stay open. Good, now let's release, come all the way down to your stomach, push up to a plank pose or a modified plank pose, and then you have the choice here of sending the hips back for an extended child's pose, or if you'd like to practice down dog, here is the one opportunity you will have to do so. So either down dog or child's pose. We'll rest there for a couple of breaths. All right, we are going to meet in a standing forward bend. Does not matter how you get there. So hands and feet will come close to each other. Once you arrive in that standing forward bend, you'll roll up one vertebra at a time. All right, we are going to finish by the wall, and we'll start, so you can bring, all you'll need is your mat. All you'll need is your mat. And you'll be perpendicular to the wall. I'm going to set myself up right here, and we're actually going to start by stretching through the front of the shoulders a little bit more. So we did a little back shoulder stuff with our thread the needle. So now we'll work through the front. So once you arrive at the wall, we're starting with that right arm extended out to the side. And so you can either extend that right arm straight out, you could do a little angle, but what we'll do is rotate our bodies away from the right arm so that you can feel a stretch through the front of that right shoulder. So good, your right arm is out. Again, that bend in the elbow, if you decide to do that, could focus the stretch a little bit more on that pec minor muscle, and that can be really, really tight. So if you find that it's too intense, reduce the angle, maybe you go 45 degrees, maybe you go straight out to the side. All right, we've got a couple more breaths to hold here. Feel free to vary that shape, just kind of explore a little bit. Yep, you got it. Perfect. All right, so we're going to switch to the other side. So when you're ready, your left arm will now extend either straight out or you could bend the elbow. You're rotating your body away from your arm. So that also adds intensity. So if you don't want it quite as intense, don't rotate out quite as far. All right, we have a couple of breaths here. Let those breaths be long. Big breaths in and out. Beautiful. All right, let's release that. All right, you guys, we're going to move on to our backs. We'll put our legs up the wall. The best way to get your legs up the wall is to scoot yourself in sideways and then bring the legs up the wall. So the bottom, if you're tight through the hamstrings, having your bottom right close into the wall is not going to feel good. So if that is the case, feel free to scoot yourself away from the wall a little bit. All right, so this is a hamstring lengthener. And we are going to hold this at the end of class, but now let's focus a little more on the outer thigh. We did inner thigh standing. So the left leg will stay long, the right ankle, maybe it comes above that left knee, maybe not. If you can find that upside down figure 4 and that is enough, stay there. If you'd like to try and slide the sole of the left foot down the wall a little bit or a lot, feel free to do that. So again, we're focused on the outer thigh, that right outer thigh. So what do you need to do to feel some opening through that? Maybe it's adding a little assist on the inside of that right leg. Whatever you choose, notice what's happening through the rest of your body. Shoulders, neck, muscles of the face relaxed. So are there any areas in your body that you can find ease, that are trying to tense up? Are there areas that could feel good, but for some reason they're tightening up? Just notice, especially again, the shoulders, the neck, the face. Now we are slowly going to switch to the other leg. So take your time, and you may very well notice that one side feels different than the other side. So if there's a variation that you need on that second side to get more or less of what you need, feel free to vary in any way that feels right. And then keep yourself here in this moment. Breathe your full breaths. Find contentment here. Practicing santosha. When we're practicing yoga, we generally can find some imbalance in the body just by the poses that we practice. So now just recognize if there was one side that was just felt tighter, if you'd like to go back to that side, or if you want to stay here, feel free to do that. If there's anything else that your body needs in this shape, take time here for that. So our twisting was done standing. You could actually do a little twist here if you'd like. Again, any shape that you need from here. We are going to finish with our legs up the wall. So let me just say that this is another opportunity to find something else if that feels better. So don't feel like you have to do the legs up the wall for the last part of class. So I'll give you just another few seconds to do anything else that your body is calling for. And then if legs up the wall is something you'd like to practice here, bring those legs back up and let's prepare ourselves for this last little bit of time together. So we have about 5 minutes left. Feel free if you'd like to stay here the full time to do that. If at any time you'd like to move away from the wall, please do whatever your body needs. But here, in this final pose, be content. Accept here where your body is. Don't resist, especially in this pose. Smooth out the brow. Soften your eyes. Relax the jaw. Let your attention travel to your fingers and your fingertips. Do you notice there? Let your attention travel to your toes, your feet. Do you notice tingling? Do you notice any sensations through the feet, especially in this position with your legs up. And now bring your full attention back to your breath. Maybe zeroing in on that one thing about your breath that catches your attention. Bring some easy movement back to your body. We are all going to roll onto a side. So pick your side and rest for a couple of breaths in a fetal position. So we'll slowly get that blood flowing back into what's a little more normal. So as you rest on your side, let me just say from a Santosha perspective that radical contentment is hard work. It involves being vigilant in your response to any voices in your head that tell you you are not enough as you are. Right now, you are enough. There is nothing to fix here. There is nothing that needs to be done. There is nothing to change or work on. So just let yourself be. We'll meet in a seated posture, taking your time to get there. No rush. Let's take one more big deep breath in together. We'll inhale and sweep the arms up, stretch up tall. As you exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Clark Moustakis is the person that I'm quoting here. Accept everything about yourself. I mean everything. You are you, and that is the beginning and the end. No apologies, no regrets. Namaste, friends.